Things are gonna get crazy!
Most everyone's mad.
What's up, my beautiful people? Welcome to a fun-filled and exciting episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast, and what a wild week it has been! Now, I'm just going to say right now, it's gonna be a shorter episode than usual because the amount of news that we have gotten, well, it has been pretty minimal, and there isn't a whole lot to talk about. But for the stuff that we are going to talk about, it's just going to be completely crazy. In fact, it is so crazy that I cannot do this alone. I actually brought on board a buddy of mine to go and help me out and discuss some of these crazy topics. So once again, please welcome back to AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast, Tyler Bio Rodriguez. Tyler, what's up, dude? And my God, do you look fancy for this?
There's a reason for this. Don't you worry.
Oh, I'm sure, man. I'm sure. All right, so with that said, I would like to go immediately start things off by asking you, Tyler. Well, I don't think I can ask, I don't think I have to ask you because you already seem more than prepared for this. But I want to know from the chat wall, are you all ready to start things off with this episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast? Let me hear it, folks. Are you ready? Let's see.
Aye, Captain.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, we already got people saying, aye, Captain. Well, I already see several people in the chat wall saying, aye, Captain. So that's beautiful to see. So with that said and done, I believe it is now time that we shall go and get things started. And first things first, Tyler, I would like to ask you a simple little question. It might seem, oh, fudge nabbit, we just got a subscriber, so just want to say thank you, Yami119, for the subscription there. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Tyler, I would like to know, have you seen the DreamWorks animated film, The Boss Baby?
I have, unfortunately.
So what did you think of it?
Gun to my head, I think I can remember Alec Baldwin was in it, and I think the main kid was voiced by Ralph Bakshi's son, and I think it was kind of terrible, and that's all I can remember after all these years.
Almost. I gotta say, it's it's Ralph Bakshi's grandson, by the way, not his son, because
that's it.
He would be way too old for that. But yeah, I do agree with you there. It might sound a bit harsh of me to say, but even for me personally, I would have to say that, honestly, The Boss Baby is one of the worst DreamWorks films that I have seen. Like, a lot of people love to make fun of stuff like what was it? Shark Tale? Yeah, but for me, it has to be The Boss Baby. Boss Baby is up there as, like, one of the worst. Yeah, it has its merits with its animation, but other than that, though, it really does drive way too hard with its novelty of Alec Baldwin being Alec Baldwin in a baby's body. But the truth is, though, is that it is a very successful movie. Not only did it make more than $500 million at the box office, but miraculously enough, it was also nominated for an Oscar for Best Animated Feature. And for DreamWorks Animation, that is an award that, or that is a recognition they do not get every day. But, with that said, though, since it is that successful, that means there has to be a sequel. So now, considering we've mentioned all that, let us now go and check out the trailer for this particular sequel, in which they call The Boss Baby Family Business. Nope, hold on a sec, it's loading up. Don't worry, we're on this. There we go!
Play hard, work hard, play hard.
Out of my way! Ah! In days of yore, there were two warriors.
I'd kill for a spicy tuna roll right about now. Get yourself a little something.
The brothers grew apart, and a new age began. The Middle Age.
Dad, is Uncle Ted coming for Christmas this year?
Sweetie, sometimes you just grow apart.
Diamonds all in my ring, player. Gold watch, gold chain, player. Walk and I own it.
Uncle Ted, I missed you so much.
That's my girl.
Woohoo!
You can't solve everything with money.
But you can, Tim.
You haven't changed at all. You're still a big baby. Suck it, Ted.
You suck. Get that passy out of my face!
Excuse me. I hate to interrupt. I mean, it's a riveting conversation, but why don't you both suck it?
She can talk.
All right.
I'm in the family business, and now you work for me, boomers. Baby Corp developed a new formula that can turn a grown-up back into a baby for 48 hours.
You want me to be a baby again?
Yep, there's the awkward stage. Ew! Baby Corp will offer a full memory wipe following this experience.
So, what's the crisis?
An evil genius is teaching kids to be very bad babies.
Welcome to the baby revolution.
We're gonna need a disguise to go undercover.
What have you done to me?
No, really? What, are we going sailing? Oh, no.
Thanks for always having my back.
You're my brother. We always stick together because that's what families do.
We need to hurry before the formula wears off. What the? Aren't you a cutie in that little karate outfit? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh! I'm sure this isn't something money can't solve. What the fudge?
So yeah, that was La Boss Baby. Whoops, hold on a sec. That was The Boss Baby Family Business, in which it is coming out at the end of March of 2021. And Tyler, I would like you to have the honors to answer the question, what the fridge did we just watch?
2 minutes, I'm never gonna get back. What was that?
Yeah, honestly, I just gotta say, this is a very rare occasion, but I feel like I understood less after watching this than I did before coming in. Like, I remember when they announced the little description, and I thought they were gonna go out, like, they're gonna go outside of, like, what we knew, like, I thought they would, like, reject, like, the whole Alec Baldwin side of things. I thought they would reject, like, those two main characters. But no, not only are they back, but it's like, what are they doing? Okay, like, I'll give this credit. I'll give the trailer credit. They did, like, in the first movie, I did remember they did establish that they were creating this formula where they would turn grown-ups into babies. Like, there was that they already established in the first film. But the rest of this, it's like, what are you even doing? Like, what is all this?
Don't know. I don't know what anything even is.
Like, even if we go one by one, there's nothing about it that makes sense. Like, it starts out with a toy, like somehow this random wizard toy coming to life, narrating the whole experience about, like, what happened. And then we're going, like, many years later, and then we're, like, years later when, Tim and Ted are grown-ups. And, like, Tobey Maguire is not back, by the way. Like, he was the adult Tim, in the first film, and now he's going to be voiced by James Marsden. And then suddenly, like, now there's this new thing where apparently now it's Tim's, like, Tim's baby daughter can now talk, and she's in the family business, and now they got to shrink them back, which for some reason, which by the way, like, they're not, both of them are not turned into babies. Like, okay, yeah, you got the Alec Baldwin character who's back as a baby, but for some reason, Tim is not back as a baby. He's back as, like, a little boy, like post-toddler or something like that. So, that's something they didn't establish. And then, like, they're on this mission.
This isn't a TV show.
I have no idea. And then they would start, like, and then now they have this major mission where now they gotta stop Jeff Goldblum from turning the babies into being evil, like, Jeff Goldblum has this evil plan to make the babies very, very bad babies. And which doesn't make sense, because technically, don't babies and toddlers already start off being really, really bad in the first place? That's one part I don't really understood. Like, so, yeah, like, I don't really get it, because, like, that's already done. I don't know what more Jeff Goldblum can do. And then, like, now there's, like, this whole, like, Mission Impossible scenario where they gotta stealth their way into, the baby corporation. Like, there's just, what are they doing? What is even happening with this trailer?
I don't remember the Boss Baby having this deep of a lore to it.
Oh my god. Yeah, already, like, the thing is with the Boss Baby, it only has, like, we only got the first movie, the TV show on Netflix, and then you got the sequel, and already it has a lore that seems even more complicated and convoluted more than, like, Kung Fu Panda and How to Train Your Dragon combined. Like, it's just, like, what's even the logic in all this? And I know there are some people that are explaining in the chat wall that it's like, oh, it's cartoon logic. But then, like, yeah, even at that, though, cartoon logic makes more sense than this.
The best memory I can give is it's like when I try to show one of my friends, this is what the plot line to the Kingdom Hearts series is. And he's like, I don't even know what any of that just was. Out one ear, out the other.
Yeah, oh my god, it's almost, yeah, it's like the Boss Baby is pretty much like Kingdom Hearts, except there's no keys, there's just more babies.
Yeah, don't put it past them. Don't put it past them. The next game is like Xehanort or whatever he's gonna be. He's gonna be a baby this time.
Oh my god, yeah, he's gonna be rebirthed into a baby. Oh my god, but just out of curiosity, is there anything positive that you could find about this trailer? Is there anything good that you think you can add into what we saw with the Boss Baby?
Amy Sedaris is gonna get a paycheck.
Yeah, okay. Is that all? Is it just for Amy Sedaris?
I mean, I like Jeff Goldblum as an actor, and I like it when he doesn't starve. I'm literally trying here. I can't.
Yeah,
the animators give something put on the resume.
Yeah, okay, I don't blame you there, because honestly, like, even I feel like I'm struggling to find some positive things about this trailer. I mean, like, yeah, maybe we don't see much in this trailer to really justify the animation. Like, you know, as much as, like, usually this is the kind of thing that I could say, oh, well, the animation, it's not that bad, it seems fine, but even at that, though, it's just, it doesn't really make that much sense, really. It's just, a lot of it doesn't feel that great, and even at that, like, I could see some of the things they want to try, like, to also make it heartfelt between the relationship between Tim and Ted. Like, yeah, it'll try to do stuff like that. And I will admit, there is one thing that did make me chuckle a little bit, and that's, like, the scene with, like, when we see the baby ninjas, and Ted tries to take a picture of it, and then, like, he just and then, they just immediately slash the phone. Like, that, I'll admit, was cute. That I'll admit was actually pretty funny. Yeah, like, that little moment, like, he's trying to take a picture, and then suddenly just slashes the phone, and then he runs. Like, that's the one positive thing that I could say. Is like, okay, that little moment was funny, but then again, that's pretty much it. That's all I could really think of in terms of, like, something that could be fun to watch, but yeah, I don't have any high hopes for this, really. Like, I'm not, like,
no.
To be fair, like, I don't have that much of a positive attitude towards the original Boss Baby, and this is not really doing me any favors.
No, it kind of speaks for itself when the least popular version of Spider-Man is too good to come back for this.
Yeah, in a way. It's just, it's just something that I feel like it raises so many more questions than it does answers. Again, I feel like I understood much less than I did before even watching it. It just feels confusing. It's just a lot of it seems absolutely weird, and it just feels so off the wall and just doesn't make sense, even for something like The Boss Baby, when it has something that seems so simple, that it feels like it has such a simple concept because people mainly want to watch it because it's Alec Baldwin as a baby, but then, like, coming back, like, it's just, like, now they're just making things so confusing, and it's like, maybe it's like, I don't know, like, we're both not Boss Baby fans, and that might be something that could hinder our point of view. And, like, maybe for a Boss Baby fan, for someone who did like the first movie and has watched the Netflix series, maybe there will be some things that will make sense to them, but honestly, I have no clue. And by the way, actually, there is one more question that I want to ask, and it might seem crazy, but, like, considering that this is something that was a major factor in the popularity of the Boss Baby back then, I just want to know, and this might sound crazy, how much you want to bet the Boss Baby family business is going to do Trump jokes?
I was waiting for you to get to that, because that original movie was like, what, 2017? Just when Alec Baldwin was becoming popular on SNL as Donald Trump. 3 years later, both the person and Alec Baldwin and the SNL jokes are all really tired and overdone, and nobody wants them anymore.
Not to mention that, like, since it was back in 2017, that's when Donald Trump was, like, fresh as the president of the United States, and that's why, like, a lot of people really made those comparisons that Donald Trump is a boss baby. So do you think like DreamWorks and the people working on this movie, would they really take the opportunity to capitalize on that, like to really add in more Trump jokes onto the Boss Baby, even though, like, technically the first one didn't do any Boss Baby jokes, like, it was more of a coincidence, but do you think they'll really lean onto it with the second?
Probably. I never watched a TV show, but it's become so ubiquitous to see jokes about Trump that I wouldn't be surprised if it's in there. But much like everything else, it would come off as really dated, really stale, because by the point the movie comes out, he won't even be president.
That is true. That is the one redeemable thing, is that at least now we're getting another Boss Baby, but we're not getting another 4 years of Trump. So at least there is that bright side. But for me personally, like, I would say I wouldn't be surprised either or, that technically they want to keep the Boss Baby to be a bit of a timeless feature, so they might not include it. But at the same time, it would not put it past me, because considering that animated features usually take 4 years to make, and we are already at the point that it's already been 4 years since America had Donald Trump as president. Like, it's not going to be too long until we're going to start really seeing mainstream animated features and just animated content in general really capitalizing and really just making fun of Donald Trump was the president of the United States. I mean, like, we have already seen it technically, like, with that Corgi movie. Remember when we talked about that? The freaking the Queen's Corgi?
I unfortunately know of it now.
Yeah, there was a Queen's Corgi, and especially with Animaniacs as well, that they're already going it all in with the Trump presidency jokes. I think it's not going to be long until we are going to see some mainstream animated films, like from DreamWorks or from Sony or Warner Brothers or whatever. Like, they're going to be doing Trump jokes. Like, just maybe we're not going to see a lot, but I'm just warning you, brace yourselves, because it's gonna happen. Oh, and some people are even mentioning...
Here's a good example.
Some people are even mentioning our cartoon president as well. Like, technically that does count.
I suppose, but the best example is the Back to Future ride at Dream. The Back to Future ride. That one had a joke about Richard Nixon, and that ride came out only a couple years after, he was president. So once you're no longer president, it's almost like it's a complete free-for-all to go, yeah, you can make fun of him now, go.
Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. And I'm telling you, once 2021 hits, look, we're going to see some significant changes in our culture, and especially people's point of view of Donald Trump. Like, Trust me, if some people are letting it out now, there will be more people letting it out in 2021, especially Republicans.
Oh yeah. Also, I need to mention one thing because the prominence of Amy Sedaris in the trailer. I'm surprised they didn't call the movie "The Girl Boss Baby."
Yeah, that is true.
All I could think about was that, all I could think of was Lindsay Ellis's essay about girl boss, and this is just all I could think of.
No, that is true, because like I've seen some people making posts about that, thinking that it would be called The Girl Boss Baby. And I remember back when they announced the details of the Boss Baby, they barely mentioned much about these elements about bringing back Tim and Ted and stuff like that. And they really emphasized that technically the main character of it all would be that girl Boss Baby. That technically it would be her. Like, it would be a little bit more like a spiritual successor, which I was completely wrong about. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't really capitalize on like the girl Boss Baby and just say the Boss Baby family business. Then again, I guess like they really want to capitalize on just having Alec Baldwin as a baby. That's something they don't really want to mess with that formula because it seems to be making so much business for DreamWorks.
Surprisingly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess that's all we could really say about family business and with that trailer. And if you guys are really curious about what this is all about, if what we saw in this trailer makes any sense, then keep in mind it's going to be coming out on March 26th of next year. So that's when the Boss Baby is going to be making a comeback. Oh boy.
Yay.
Yeah, exactly. Yay. Alright, so with that said, I would like to go into the chat wall, and I want to ask you all, what do you all think about the trailer for the Boss Baby Family Business? Did you guys enjoy the trailer? Did you not? And especially, I would love to know, what do you think if you are a fan of the first Boss Baby movie? I know you might disagree on us, but I would love to know what you think about this trailer. I want to know. I want to know from a Boss Baby fan's perspective.
I mean, I know they exist because DreamWorks keeps making more of this.
Yeah, they're making more of it. It got successful. There's got to be some kind of audience out there. Let's see, what do we got here? The only way I could describe this trailer is quoting your open season review. This trailer is weird. And I don't mean the good kind of weird. I mean the kind of weird where you just sit there after watching it thinking, what did I just watch? There is barely anything that makes sense in here, and considering that I haven't seen the first film, I don't know if I would touch this. Yeah, that's probably gonna be a major obstacle for this movie, is if it would be able to bring in a new audience. Would you see, like, newcomers coming in, like they don't know much about the first Boss Baby, and then, like, now they want to try to give the second film a shot? Do you think that would be possible?
Oh God, no! I can't imagine someone watching this trailer and going, "Man, I want to see that sequel before I see the original." No.
Okay, just in case. All right, let's see here. I disagree, Matt. This trailer was pretty good. Boss Baby was an average movie, but it had many good moments with good animation. Story was wackiness, but it wasn't painful. Family Business actually looks better with a wacky story. I think this will be a fun movie compared to Shark Tale with a great cast and comedic humor. It won't be a masterpiece, but it should be decent enough. Okay, well, we got one person who's more optimistic. Let's see now. As someone who wasn't a fan of the first movie, especially after rewatching it for my DreamWorks marathon, I gotta say that this doesn't look too bad. I am a bit skeptical about the story, but the animation is colorful, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty insane movie. Also, since some people refer to the Boss Baby as the Alec Baldwin baby, I'm going to refer to Tim as the Donut Lord kid. Oh yeah, that's true, because now it's James Marsden. I mean, it's nice that James Marsden is making a bit of a comeback, but oh god, that is true. Oh boy, he's making good choices for his career, but he's making some weird choices.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's an improvement than being in Enchanted and getting run over by a bicycle.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good choice. Good point. What do I even say to that? I guess the animation looks solid, but at the same time, the film itself looks so scattershot, insane, and confusing. I'm actually a little speechless, to the point where I'm kind of obligated to check it out. I can just imagine if Tom McGrath, the director of the movie, is even questioned about this story, he'll just shrug it off and say, I don't know, cocaine's a hell of a drug, man.
No, someone's gonna pick. Hey, Tim, I got an idea for you. It's like, sorry, I gotta turn down that music because he's playing Eric Clapton's Cocaine.
Yeah. Oh my god. Anyways, let's go and jump into the next one. Let's see. The Boss Baby. All the smugness of Alec Baldwin mixed with the smugness of a baby. Somehow it earned over $500 million, and now we're getting a sequel. I've never seen the first one, and I'm most definitely not going to see this. True signs that we live in an unfair world where The Boss Baby gets a sequel, but Road to El Dorado never gets one. Still beats another 4 years of Trump. He's got a point. I'd much rather...
I cannot argue with anything he just said.
Yeah, much rather... At least, yeah, it's better to have another Boss Baby than another 4 years of Trump. So at least, like, keep the Boss Babies in the cartoons. That's pretty much the moral of this lesson.
I would like Tulio and Miguel 20 years later.
Yeah, that would be great, actually. That, like, another... Oh my god, I would be so down for another Road to El Dorado. Or even a freaking Road to El Dorado series. That would actually be great. I mean, if DreamWorks is really capitalizing on a freaking Spirit series, then why not bring back Tulio and Miguel?
Well, that'd be like Road to, I don't know, the Incas? I don't know where you would take that, but I would watch it.
Hey, you never know. Like a Road to, like... Or just call it Tulio and Miguel, you know? Do like Timon and Pumbaa. Anyways, I'll read one more comment before we jump into the next story. Oh my god, what the hell did I just watch? The first film was terrible and was the worst DreamWorks film I ever seen. For this trailer, I knew nothing had changed, but this brings out more confusion and more WTF moments. This and Minions 2, I know I'll dread when I see it, but Boss Baby 2 I'll dread more. I don't want to say it, but F the franchise and F this upcoming sequel. DreamWorks should just move on and do something good for once. Oh man. That is... Oh boy, this one is savage. Boy is savage here.
Yeah. So we haven't actually mentioned the elephant in the room here. When the movie comes out in March, is the pandemic actually going to be a boon or a minus for the movie? Because a family-run business, is that going to be considered nostalgic, or is that going to be just considered, oh yeah, happier times?
I have no clue, honestly. Like, it's a guessing game at this point. We don't, like, especially we're at the point where they say that the vaccine is going to be coming soon, so... The future, honestly, I feel like it's uncertain. Maybe we're gonna have another full year of the pandemic. Maybe it will be over soon, but I don't know. It's just a guessing game, and I mean, like, I'll admit, I can't predict the future, so, like, I'm mostly in a wait-and-see attitude at this point. That's probably the easiest answer.
If you were to ask the DreamWorks executives, they'd be like Squidward going, the future, the future.
Well, I mean, Universal is already shaping the future, especially with the deals they're making with movie theater chains to go and release the VODs much earlier than usual.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So, with that said, it is now time that we're going to jump onto the next story, and we're going to be entering into some controversial territory, and Tyler, I know very well that you are someone who is more than comfortable to be in the realm of controversy. In fact, I just want to state this right now, that here's an interesting fact, in case you guys don't know, Tyler here is actually the person responsible for requesting me on Patreon to do the Politics of Bioshock Infinite video from a month ago. And you seem to be pretty pleased with the results of that.
I very much am. I expected to see a hellscape, and I got what I wanted. The comments started off positive, but then just like the video game, by the end, it's like everything's on fire and everyone's trying to kill each other.
Pretty much. I will say that the reception that I did get is actually a lot more positive than I expected. Like, in terms of the like-dislike ratio, apparently I got 75% likes, which is much more than I honestly expected. Alright, but,
Yes, but I found a lot of those great comments, those classic ones where it's like, you know who you are, guy who said, as a proud conservative Trump supporter, I'm very offended at this video and your accusations against my people. It's like, yeah.
And it's very ironic that nowadays, like, it's hilarious to see how they are further proving that, like, my video is actually correct about all of them. Especially now that, Trump lost, and now there's that conspiracy theory that has no proof of it regarding, like, voter fraud and whatever. Like, they really are...
Yeah, the video came out a week before the election, so if you look at the comments, you will find the people going on like, Trump 2020, he's gonna win, it's gonna be a landslide, and then the comments going, just you watch tomorrow, next week, it's all fraud. What's happening?
Yeah.
It degrades.
You know that they are deep in the Kool-Aid when they're now saying that Fox News is too liberal for them.
Yes, the news outlet that actually stole some artwork from BioShock Infinite at one point.
Oh, yeah. But we're not here to talk about the elections and stuff like that.
none of that. Nah.
We're talking about a different kind of controversy. A little bit more of celebrity drama. Something that you could say is in the realm of TMZ in a sense. And this is actually related to a popular series that just came out last week, which, by the way, is already becoming very successful, where I believe it's stated that now it is the #2 Hulu series, just underneath Family Guy. But with the way that it likes to be so topical, at some point, it had to go into some controversy. It was almost inevitable. So with that said, let's talk about Animaniacs and the backlash they are getting from Johnny Depp fans. And for those of you who don't know, what happened exactly is this happened during the song Reboot It, where the Animaniacs are singing about reboots, essentially. And there is one little quick moment where they made a little reference to Johnny Depp, and it was actually pretty quick, if I can go and find it here. Like, let's just watch this little piece here.
Get the script right, it's clear.
You've done sequels, try for prequels.
Think of all the streams that equals utilizing these.
So that was pretty quick, but it was at this moment right here. This moment. Hold on a sec. There, yeah. You see Yakko here is pointing towards a poster, and it features Johnny Depp in a like he's holding a pair of scissors, and it says Johnny Depp starring in Johnny 2 Telling Lies. Of course, for Johnny Depp fans, they are highly offended by this. And they are really upset at Warner Brothers with this kind of joke. And just to give you some really quick context about why is it that they're angry, you probably heard about the ongoing controversy with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, that right now they are in a court case fighting off about domestic abuse, where for a while Johnny Depp has been accused of being a domestic abuser, and it has really taken a significant hit towards his career. But then later on, things got even more complicated, where there have been some new evidence that have been revealed that Amber Heard was also very abusive towards Johnny Depp, where there are actually more clear evidence that Amber Heard is an abuser, more so than Johnny Depp. And since then, things have really gotten heated up, where it kind of turned into a bit of a culture war, where some people have become a bit more Team Johnny Depp and Team Amber Heard and stuff like that. Like, that's when it really got messy. But then, things got extremely toxic recently when Johnny Depp actually lost a court case in London, in the UK actually, where he lost a defamation case against the newspaper The Sun, where they accused Johnny Depp of being a wife beater, and the judge ruled that not only did the judge rule in favor of The Sun, but he also stated that the allegations of being a wife beater is true. Now, I know that technically some people could argue that technically the libel rulings in the UK is much more different than in the US, and that's kind of like a whole different subject in particular. But that ruling was such a massive hit for Johnny Depp, even to the point that we are seeing some major consequences where Johnny did lose his role as Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts series. Now, technically, he did leave, he did agree to leave, and he did get $10 million for the little role that he did in the movie, but he is no longer going to be playing him in the long run. And since then, like, as I said before, the controversy just got really, really toxic, and you could definitely see that when it comes to the Johnny Depp fans, they are pretty much desperate for a win, and whenever they see anyone making fun of Johnny Depp or making a negative comment towards Johnny Depp, they get really pissed off, which is going back to the Animaniacs Rebooted song, where there's even one person on Twitter that even commented with the hashtag boycott Warner Brothers and hashtag justice for Johnny Depp, stating, "Warner Brothers, this is a sick thing to do to an abuse survivor. Listen to the tapes. Johnny Depp has been put through psychological torture and physical abuse. I'm sorry that I don't find this funny, but it's no laughing matter." But here's the crazy thing about all this. The crazy thing about this whole Rebooted song and the whole Johnny Depp song, that little reference there, that actually has nothing to do with the allegations. That has nothing to do with the controversy related to Amber Heard. If you guys know about the Animaniacs reboot, often they would go and make topical humor about memes from like a few years ago. Like, for example, there was one scene where Pinky and the Brain would be in a fidget spinner factory. Because, as you guys know, like a few years ago, fidget spinners were like a mainstream trending thing. But then, in this case here, this is another scenario where it's actually based on a meme from a few years ago. This is actually, like, the thing with the whole Johnny Depp joke is that it's actually a reference to the Johnny Johnny Yes Papa meme. And here's the clue. Because after Yakko points to this Johnny Depp poster, immediately after he points to another poster that says Johnny the Beginning, and you see this baby Johnny Depp who is eating sugar. So now it kind of makes sense when you got like the sequel and the prequel, the prequel posters, where the prequel is showing a baby eating sugar, and then the sequel, it's pretty much the same thing. It's Johnny telling lies. So now you get now you see where that joke is coming from. But still, it's kind of crazy to see the kind of reactions that Johnny Depp fans are kind of going, immediately jumping the gun and accusing Warner Brothers with all that kind of stuff. Tyler, I just want to know, I know it's a lot to, I know it's pretty much a whole mouthful there, but I would like to know, what do you think?
Well, first off, this is very much like a psychological, like, identity thing. Some people are associating with Johnny Depp in the way you do like a football team, so you gotta defend him at every moment, and it's a terrible way to look at celebrity culture. Come on, he's an actor. He's not even particularly a great actor for the last 5 years. The last time I saw him in a movie I actually cared was probably Black Mass, and that movie flopped, sadly. He's not anyone special anymore. He's not even someone like Bill Murray that I can kind of see the appeal. I'm like, why does everyone care about Johnny Depp so much?
I will say, though, that I have heard just recently he has gotten better. Like, I did hear some positive reviews related to his performance in Murder in the Orient Express, if that's anything. So, like, he has gotten better as an actor, and I'm not going to comment.
He's still right in that movie, but
yeah, I'm not going to comment on Johnny Depp as an actor, but I do agree, like, there have been some things recently where it's just, like, it's tiresome, and it's, like, he's just not good. Like, the fifth, oh my god, he was so cringy in the fifth Pirates of the Caribbean film, and even in the Sherlock Gnomes, he was just terrible, and you could tell, like, he just did not care.
Yeah, I'm just going to call those the "you can send that paycheck to my landlord" movie, because he just was, nope. It's like, we're done shooting? Okay, I'm going home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
also include that Mordecai movie from 2015 as well. That one's also awful.
Oh, I completely forgot about the frickin' Mordecai movie. Oh, jeez. But yeah, like, how do you feel about this controversy, though? Like, with how people are reacting to the Animaniacs joke?
Well, obviously, one, yeah, it's kind of clear this is the Johnny Yes Papa joke meme that I don't even really remember that much anymore, but it's very clear it's not even really about Johnny Depp. It's just the fact that it's just Johnny, and they just put Johnny Depp's face there. That's entirety of the joke. The fact that people, and then this is from, I think someone even said in the comments, this was probably made like in 2019, 2018. This wasn't even a controversy when this was getting made.
Yeah, like, yeah, that was, like, back before we heard a lot more about the allegations. That's, like, back when, like, we didn't really care a whole lot about Johnny Depp and stuff like that. Like, yeah, we have heard about the allegations before, but they weren't as big as they were nowadays. But for me, I really do feel like this is really a massive moment in the controversy where it really does feel like now things have gone way too toxic, where it's just not good for anyone. I mean, yes, I will give it to the Johnny Depp fans that, like, out of context, it does seem pretty bad to assume, like, Johnny Depp is telling lies. But, like, that it really shows that right now, Johnny Depp fans seem to be, like, because of what happened with the libel lawsuit that Johnny Depp lost and the fact that he's no longer going to be playing Grindelwald, it really shows that Johnny Depp fans have now become extremely desperate. Like, they are so desperate for a win. In fact, like, that's unfortunately the scenario where we are at right now. People, like, this controversy has gone so insane that people are focusing less about figuring out what is the truth of the matter, and it's more about seeing their side win, because that's all I'm seeing with Johnny Depp fans, is that right now they're scattering around, desperate to look for any form of win for Johnny Depp. Like, recently he got, like, I remember when recently he got, like, this special little award or something, or like when the news broke out that he got $10 million for his little role of Grindelwald that he left, and they were just celebrating and cheering. And that's unfortunately the point where we are right now. And I mean, the thing is that what we are talking about is kind of a serious subject matter, of course. It's about domestic abuse. And the sad truth is that usually with these things, they're not as black and white as they seem. Now, this is not to defend Amber Heard at all. Like, there is a lot of evidence that really do show that she is guilty, and I do agree with some of these people that, yes, they should also go and fire her from Aquaman 2 as well, which they have actually yet to do. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Johnny Depp is off the hook here. That doesn't mean Johnny Depp is the innocent one and Amber Heard is the evil one. You know, like, this could be a scenario where it could actually go both ways. And I just want to add, though, is that to make matters worse, there is the scenario right now that, considering that it is so toxic, that right now we are seeing conservative grifters who don't even care about Johnny Depp in the first place, like The Quartering, for example, already making videos where they're just trying to capitalize on the controversy, trying to make things worse than it already is right now. So, yeah.
I'm glad to mention that you mentioned The Quartering. That's just your normal standard run-of-the-mill reactionary YouTuber that makes money off of complaining about Star Wars and women. These people are always defending Me Too victims. Like, what was it? Like, it was a stand-up comedian that was Me Too 3 years back that was supposed to be in
Louis C.K.?
Gravity Falls. Well, yeah, they're the same ones that go, it's not a big deal with Louis C.K. He didn't touch anybody. Or these people, they're grifters and clowns. They're worth nothing. But you're right, though. It is, not to both sides, they're both clearly crazy people that do not have any understanding of how a marriage works. They're not sympathetic at all, either of them. I could care less about what they get. And you're right, though, with the British law. I'm not an expert in British law, but from my understanding, in the Britain, the person who actually takes the case is assumed guilty until proven otherwise, unlike the United States where it's innocent until proven otherwise. So to lose a case to what is basically the equivalency of the National Enquirer, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, like, I don't know how that's going to go, and I could see how that's going to really screw Johnny. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if what happened is really going to screw Johnny Depp, like, even further down the line, or if the Amber Heard team is going to take that and really use it to their advantage in the court case. Like, there is that
they will.
possibility.
I would.
Yeah, there is still that very strong possibility, so we don't know how that's going to go, but overall, it really, like, especially with the kind of, like, with the kind of reaction that we are seeing with Animaniacs, it like I said before, it really shows that the Johnny Depp fans are now becoming desperate, that it's not about figuring out what is the truth. They just want to see their side win no matter what, and they only want that for sure. And the thing is that, The problem with it is that this is not a good look for anyone. Like, like it's already enough that, like, yeah, like it's already making Warner Brothers look bad, because it's already enough that they got rid of Johnny Depp for Grindelwald, but still keep Amber Heard for Aquaman 2. But then on top of that, they already got the Animaniacs thing going on that puts them even more in trouble with the Depp fans. But also, it makes the Johnny Depp fans look bad, because now we're seeing them like just really taking things out of context, and they're more reactionary than more rational thinking. And especially, this is not a good look for Johnny Depp either, because now he has a freaking insane fan base going on, and that unless Johnny Depp is calling them out on like, don't take things out of context and stuff like that, it's just gonna make him look terrible. Like right now, I can guarantee you, Amber Heard is watching Johnny Depp's fans reacting to the Animaniacs thing, and she is ecstatic. She's like, yes, score one for me! Johnny Depp's fans are freaking insane! This is gonna make me look better than ever! So that's the thing. That's why, that's why learning about the context is very important in this case. Like, overall, really, the biggest crime that Animaniacs has committed here is just bad timing. Like, really, their intention is not to make fun of Johnny Depp because of the allegations and stuff like that. It was more, it's more just to make a reference to the Johnny Yes Papa meme, because let's be honest, what other popular actor with the name Johnny that they could use for that joke?
Jonathan Pryce. I can't
That's
think
a
of anybody,
Johnny.
really.
That's
It's
a
most popular Johnny is.
Yeah, well, that's a Jonathan.
The most popular Johnny is Johnny Depp, no question. Exactly.
That's why they got to go and try to find a way to use that Johnny Yes Papa joke.
See,
So,
this is as poorly timed as when what was the movie? Baby Driver came out with Kevin Spacey, and he has a line where he goes, "Man, I just like that kid."
oh,
Whoops.
God. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my. Yeah. No. Baby Driver has proven to be very worse. Like it has proven to be cursed. That's a cursed movie, because it's not just Kevin Spacey, but also like, didn't the star of the star of Baby Driver as well got a hashtag Me Too movement as well? Like he got a hashtag Me Too.
You're thinking of Ezra Miller and Ansel Elgort. I think it's fine. No. It was Ezra Miller who's similar, but not quite.
No. Yeah. Ansel. Yeah. Someone mentioned Ansel Elgort was accused of rape. Like he got
oh God, I didn't know that. Oh
yeah,
no.
that was the thing. It's a cursed movie, I tell ya. Jamie Foxx is being lucky, and thank God at least like Edgar Wright is lucky. Like he's getting away. Like he's getting.
I knew this movie was cursed.
Yeah,
I should have known the movie was cursed because they briefly show a clip from, I believe, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs for a moment.
Oh really? Oh my God.
Yeah, they're flipping through TV commercials, and you briefly see like the girl character from the first movie.
Oh God, oh my God, that should be the next thing. That should be that should be the next big hashtag Me Too moment. A character from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is accused of sexual harassment. That needs to be the next big thing. You never know what it is. I mean, like we've already got
Mr.
Like,
T got a little.
No,
Mr.
not
T
Mr.
Cop
T.
got way too aggressive with the neighbor.
Nah, not the Mr. T character. People love him too much because of the meme. Like he needs to have a pass. Like the main character, Flint. We need like put a freaking hashtag Me Too moment on him. He needs to have one.
It was kind of creepy in the first movie where he made like a Venus de Milo of his girlfriend without her knowing. That is kind of creepy.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, and especially his lifestyle it's like, yeah, you could tell the way he would interact with girls would it's mostly a case of like he didn't know any better, so like yeah, he most likely would. I never thought that we would be
exactly.
I never thought we would be at this point in the podcast. Like, which Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs character is gonna get their own hashtag Me Too moment? Let us know in the comments down below.
I also would accept Chester V because that guy is really long and stretchy. You don't know what he's doing with his hands.
Oh God. Yeah, you don't. No, he's like a freaking like lab experiment gone wrong. Like he would have his own horror movie. Like you see like one you see him on one side of the bed. You'll see his arms coming up like on the other side, like, hello little boy, I see you. Hello. Hello, Georgie. Would you like a balloon?
I have some candy in the van.
Oh, God. Yes, I got some lovely candy animals that you can come and play with. Oh no, especially with all the food puns from Cloudy 2. Would you like a lick of my lollipop?
I have a candy stick for you to suck on.
Oh God. Oh, we're going in some dark territories.
Yeah, we're all going to hell.
Oh, someone mentions I just saw someone in the comments that also mentioned Steve, the monkey. The freaking monkey. Oh God.
Oh.
That's the biggest plot twist of them all. Yes, the most evil of them all, the one that would commit the most sexual crimes, the most sexual assault is the freaking monkey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Seen those guys in zoos?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
yeah,
okay.
anyway, about
yeah, going back into the Johnny Depp thing.
Something less disturbing now.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't think his career is going to be exactly helped by all this. I don't think it's going to be dead, but it's certainly not going to be a bump up. Although, really, the franchises he's leaving, you really don't need them. I mean, the Crimes of Grindelwald, did you see that movie? That movie was awful.
No, not yet, and I don't know if I'm planning to. But then again, considering...
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, he's not the biggest problem with that series now. It's the creator.
Oh, yeah, that is true, ironically enough. No, but I will say...
So many people I know are just like, they're not gonna watch it just because of J.K. Rowling and her controversial opinions, shall we positively say. In fact, his replacement, it's honestly probably an upgrade. It's Mads Mikkelsen from James Bond and Hannibal. That's kind of almost objectively an improvement.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
And with Pirates of the Caribbean, he wasn't intended to come back for whatever they're going to do next time anyway. The rumor mill says it's going to be probably a Margot Robbie as a new character.
I'd much rather... I would just much rather... How about just no movie, please? Just like... Can we just have the ride be the ride? That's all I ask. I mean, I remember like I remember when I asked, like, in my review years ago, like, remember when Pirates of the Caribbean was just a ride? I kind of miss those days.
Yeah, just try to go to the Walt Disney World version. It's just like, there's Johnny, there's Johnny, there's Johnny.
Jack Sparrow,
no,
Jack Sparrow,
Jack
Sparrow, Jack Sparrow, Jack Sparrow. Oh yeah, but yeah, overall, like with this. With this controversy, it's just, again, it's not good for anyone, and really, like the Johnny Depp fans really need to cool down. Honestly, this is not about winning. This is about figuring out what the truth is. And I'm not saying that Johnny Depp is an abuser, but we still have so many questions that need to be answered. So really, that's just like. Honestly, with this whole Animaniacs thing, it really is doing more damage to Johnny Depp, more so than it is for Warner Brothers.
Yeah. Also, just to kick the hornet's nest one more time, those Johnny Depp fans should probably go get a beer with Vic Mignogna fans.
Oh God, yeah. That's a slope they don't want to go down into. I mean, like, with Vic, we already know he's hopeless. Like, we know that's already gonna be dead. But with the Johnny, yeah, that's the thing. It's just, that's a warning for Johnny Depp fans. Please don't be like the Vic Mignogna fans, because trust me, that's not a hill that you want to die on. Just promise me on that. And I speak in first-hand experience, but like when dealing with these Vic Mignogna fans, you don't want to be as insane as those guys. You don't want to go as delusional as those guys either. So that's why it's important to not listen to any of these conservative grifters like The Quartering. So just giving you all a warning. All right? I'm trying, and trust me, like, this is not, like, I know we're all having fun and making gags and stuff like that, but I'm saying this to help you. So please, like, take a moment to step back and think rationally instead of just reacting and just acting before, and like, don't act before you think. Think before you act. Seriously.
Yeah. The reactionaries, they would basically tell you, hey, go jump off that cliff. It'll go well for you. Don't do that, please.
Exactly. So with that said, let's go into the chat wall, and I want to ask you all, What do you think about the Johnny Depp controversy with Animaniacs? Is it something that you think might be dangerous? Do you think it's bad for Johnny Depp? Do you think it's bad for Warner Brothers? Let me know what you all think about this. Let's see now. Let's see. I used to love Johnny Depp a long time ago, but now as I see him in this time, it looks like it's going to be a hard downfall for him. I hope that he gets a change of heart and apologize to everyone for what he has done, but we'll never know until the future. Oh, I have this question to ask. If everyone has doubts on what Johnny Depp has done, does that mean that now he is a curse? I would say that honestly, with the curse he has with the things that are going with Johnny Depp right now, yeah, he is currently a curse. And until this court case is finally over, until things are ultimately settled with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, until we can get the full answers about what happened, yeah, this is going to be a curse that will loom over Johnny Depp that's going to make him less valuable than most other actors. And you never know if we're going to start seeing companies starting to really distance themselves from Johnny. And I'm just going to say this right now. Don't be surprised if you hear in the future if Disney might decide to get rid of the Johnny Depp animatronics from the Pirates ride. Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen and there's no announcements for it, but you never know. I'm just laying it out there.
Well, if that happened, you would hear cheers and partying in the streets.
Especially with the Disney fans. Like, even the Disney fans...
They'd be like...
Yeah, even the Disney fans who are more for Johnny Depp, like, they'll be cheering and celebrating about the comeback of the original, or the mostly original Pirates ride.
Yeah, they'd be like, yay, we can finally actually have fun at Walt Disney World again.
Alright, let's see. While I am 100% on Johnny Depp's side, this controversy with Animaniacs was taken entirely out of context. Hell, they even admitted that the episode was written in 2018. So it just looks like they're just trying to find something to complain about. In regard to the Claudia joke, I bet the next intro will be all we're Animani, totally insane. Flint's dad will be Animaniacs. Oh God. I don't want it to be the dad. The dad's my favorite character in that movie. Don't let it be. Please don't let it be him. He's good on my
also
books.
Cannot be.
What?
Also, you cannot be the mayor in the first movie because that's Bruce Campbell, the voice of, Ash vs. Evil Dead guy. He's too cool. No, can't be him.
I don't know. Well, like, I'm thinking about the character in that movie. It's like, I don't know. Well, he is more like an egomaniac or whatever. He kind of would, I just realized something. The one who would most likely do it more than anyone else. Andy Samberg's character. Remember Baby Brent? That guy, that fat dude, the fat dude running around in his underwear, he would be it. He would most likely would.
Yeah.
He has all the qualifications.
Yep.
Okay, I think it is all settled, man. We need to expose Baby Brent as the sexual predator that he truly is. He is the one.
Yeah. He already clearly has his own fetish site for Reddit. Come on, it's gonna be him. Gonna be him.
I'm sorry. He has what?
People are into his thing. Okay, let's just be frank here.
What?
The internet's a terrible place. I'm just saying.
I don't want to think that. No. I don't want to think that. I don't want to think that.
It's like, hey, kids, you want to see a picture with a celebrity?
No. Move on. No, too traumatizing. We've got too much in the deep end. Okay. Let's see. What have we got here? Let's see. There is so much happening between Johnny and Amber that I'm not even sure what is going on right now. I would say that this joke is a case of unfortunate timing since the show mentions in the catch-up song that the script for the show was written back in 2018. By the time the show got released in 2020, everybody has forgotten about the Johnny memes. So I would say that the creators don't have anything against Johnny Depp. Yeah, exactly. It's all about bad timing.
In all seriousness, didn't that YouTube channel get canceled? Like the one that was doing those weird animation uploads because of the Spider-Man Elsa controversy?
I don't know. I don't think so. But I think, like, they were actually ashamed of the Johnny Yes Papa meme that they deleted their original video. I think that's what, like, I remember that legit happened. Let's see now.
Yeah, they left the door open for Baby Shark to take over the world.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think it's good reason, honestly. I'd much rather Baby Shark than the freaking Johnny Yes Papa. Let's see now.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about the Johnny meme, but I found the Animaniacs joke funny because of how it's mocking franchises. I think this is a murky situation where both parties aren't clear on most likely shouldn't be supporting. Ed Wood is one of my favorite movies ever, but I'm not going to back Johnny Depp because of it. There are more important things to focus on than a failed marriage. At least he's not working with the turf anymore. Yeah, honestly, that is that is actually kind of something where, like, is it, like, that's something we forgot to consider. Considering that Johnny Depp is no longer Grindelwald, is that more of a plus for him that he's not in Fantastic Beasts, or is it a minus? Did he gain more than he lost? That is a good question.
Yeah, because, like, everyone associated with that movie was already just sending hashtag Twitter notices to J.K. Rowling and getting in more controversy, so maybe it'd be better just not be a part of the series.
That is true, man. That is true. That is a good question, actually. Let's see.
I don't think he ever called her out either. So yeah.
Yeah, there is that. Let's see now. Come on, guys. It's just a joke. Can people take a joke from Animaniacs well? This makes me love Animaniacs even more than ever. I do think both Depp and Heard should not deserve their roles if they don't want to be civil. What's wrong with these people nowadays? They need to chill. I need a drink. Yeah, it's one of those situations.
To answer your question, no.
Yeah, it's just one of those.
People cannot take the joke from Animaniacs. They only do so because it's a nostalgic part of their childhood. If it aired now, people would probably be complaining about something.
Yeah, exactly. It's the power of nostalgia that's really saving them right now. All right, I'll go and read one more comment before we go and move on to the next story. Wow, the Johnny Yes Papa reference flew over my head. In the show's defense, the script for that episode in particular was written in 2018 and was referenced by Yakko, Wacko, and Dot in the Fourth Wall Break. Way before it was released that Amber Heard may have been the abusive one. To me, it's just a dated joke. Exactly, man. Like, this is, like, I know I'm not necessarily someone who would say these kinds of things, and I'm against people who would say this, but really, this is a legitimate case of it's just a joke. Like, really, it's nothing more than just that. Yes, the timing is very poor, but at the end of the day, it's just meant to be a joke referencing an old, weird meme.
Yep. Also, I'm going to finish this all up with Super Kaiju's exactly perfect phrase, which is, "Baby Brent, do.
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay, so moving on to the next story that we got here. We're going to go a little more positive, but it's also a bit sad at the same time. We are going to be talking about the legacy of an admired person. It's a bit of a bonus miscellaneous because it's not necessarily related to animation, but it's still someone who is very noteworthy, very renowned, and someone whose works that we are all extremely familiar with. And who I'm going to be talking about is going to be the retirement of Joe Rohde. Yes, the beloved and acclaimed Walt Disney Imagineer Joe Rohde has officially announced that after 40 years of working with the company, that he is officially going to be he's going to be retiring starting in 2021. Now, Joe Rohde started all the way back 40 years ago when he worked as a model designer for Epcot, and since then, he was leading the charge for many major projects that all have a bit of a significant theme to them, that you will notice that there is a little bit of a pattern with Joe Rohde's works. He was the man who was responsible for being in charge of Disney's Animal Kingdom, the Aulani Resort and Spa in Hawaii, Expedition Everest, Pandora, the World of Avatar, and a few others as well. And this is an announcement that he actually made on his Instagram account, which I actually do have over here, and I will go and read this to you. So it's a bit of a paragraph, but he did have a lot to say regarding his retirement, and he stated here, "I'm sure by now many of you have come across the news that I am retiring from Walt Disney Imagineering. It has been 40 years since I stepped foot in the door at age 25, not knowing anything about theme parks, Disney, or what it meant to work for a big company. Every day of my life since then has been a learning experience. I'm very glad to have had that opportunity and proud of the work that has been done, not just by me, but by all my fellow Imagineers and especially those who worked by my side over the decades. But 40 years is a long time, and this strange, quiet time seemed like a great opportunity to slip away without too much disruption. If I wait, I will once again be in the middle of another huge project, and by the time that is done, I would truly be old. I'm not that old yet, and there are things I want to do that cannot be done here. We encourage a culture of storytellers, not just among ourselves, but among our guests and to our fans. And because of this, there is a strong temptation to take this moment and turn it into a story. But what story? I think it's a coming-of-age story. I started at Disney as a child, and I learned almost all my life lessons there, developed my confidence, recognized my skills and weaknesses, and went on to work with both and do what could be done. I could stay forever, but that is like remaining in another kind of womb. I want to see what a grown man might be able to do on his own. The site here is not really for Disney, it's for us. I imagine that there are many of you who will be sad that I will no longer be a daily part of the Disney company, and there will be some of you who will drift away and no longer follow my ruminations because they feel they aren't relevant. But I will still be here, and I will still be thinking about things and doing things and talking about things, because that's kind of what I do. I mentioned in the departure note that I will mention here again the tremendous debt that I owe to our guests and to our fans who have been so generous. Working as an Imagineer has made me a good designer, but it is all of you who have made me a better person." And we also got a couple of quotes here coming from the president of Walt Disney Imagineering, Bob Weiss, in which he stated, reading from my source here on D23, "Joe Rohde is a real-life adventurer, in life, in art, and in work. Whether trekking across the mountains of Mongolia on an expedition to raise awareness for snow leopard conservation, or leading project teams from Animal Kingdom to Alani to Pandora, Joe fully embodies the true spirit of adventure and exploration. He approaches these experiences not as a tourist, but with curiosity, respect, and purpose." He would also continue on by saying, "Joe has committed 40 years to bringing dynamic, inventive, and diverse projects to Disney parks. While he is widely renowned for his unmatched expertise across numerous creative disciplines, he's also an expert in every facet of leading and managing our projects, for setting the vision to feasibility, designing, and execution. His unyielding commitment to excellence across all aspects of projects, and his demand for authenticity and including diverse indigenous cultures in design and production, and hallmarks of his projects, and what differentiates them from all others. Today, Joe announced his plans to retire from the company, and while I respect and accept his decision, I know he will remain part of our Imagineering family, a mentor to our current and future generation, and certainly the best example to our worldwide audience of what it is to be an Imagineer." So I know it is a lot to read, but that's pretty much the big thing with Joe Rohde, and I'm sure you are familiar with Joe Rohde's works, right, Tyler?
Yeah, absolutely. He's probably one of the most influential Imagineers since someone like Mark Davis.
Oh, absolutely. Or Mark Davis, or I would even include Tony Baxter in there as well. Like, he's also like one of the top renowned Imagineers that people adore.
Absolutely.
Like, honestly, What's interesting with Joe Rohde that I can mention, like I did state before, that you might notice that there is a little bit of a pattern with the types of works that he would go and create, with stuff like Animal Kingdom, Expedition Everest, Pandora, and even the Olani Resort. And it's not just the fact that, like, a lot of it is based on Animal Kingdom. Like, yes, Joe Rohde is, like, pretty much the man who brought you Disney's Animal Kingdom. But the big thing with Joe Rohde is that he is the man that brought world culture onto Disney Imagineering. He is the man who made sure that the detail that people experience is pretty much authentic to the real life experience. Like when you would go to Expedition Everest, they want to make sure that everything feels like you're entering into the world of Tibet, like you're entering in Tibet and you're about to go into this to this mountain expedition into Everest and figure out about the legend of the Yeti. Or even like in the different sectors.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but you just lost all of China because you meant northwestern China. There is no Tibet, according to the government.
Yeah, but that's according to China. Like, they think they own a lot of things, you know? And I mean, like, I've already talked so much about freaking, like, with the way that I've already talked about the Hong Kong protesters, and I talked about, like, the Mulan controversies, I think I already lost China, like, a freaking long time ago, so there is already that.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, but anyways, going back to what I was talking about, like even when you like going into Animal Kingdom, like he tries to make sure that every sector, like every section really feels authentic to the real life areas, like whether it be like South America or Africa or Asia, to really feel like you are in those areas and to really feel like you are in the places where those animals would actually inhabit. Like, he wants to make sure that everything in there... And you could tell that the man really does care a lot about nature so much, especially, like, when you would go and, like, they mentioned that he is someone who cares a lot about conservation, about endangered animals, including snow leopards. And, like, even, like, he was also majorly responsible to make sure that the animals that do live in Disney's Animal Kingdom... Hold on a second. Oh, nut. Excuse me. Like he tries to make sure that Animal Kingdom is not just a regular zoo, that the animals can actually live, can actually live a very good life when they are at Disney's Animal Kingdom. And so far, there haven't been any form of reports of, like, animal cruelty that's happening to the animals in Disney's Animal Kingdom. Like, it's a guarantee that the animals there are being better treated than the cast members, whom, unfortunately, 4,000 more people seem to, unfortunately, are going to be losing their jobs, which is very much unfortunate.
Great example of how well they treat the animals is there's less stories of animal abuse than people getting decapitated on the lower coasters or whatever. I mean, heck, what was that movie, Escape from Tomorrow? Not one mention of the zoo. That
is true. They never mentioned once about Animal Kingdom. They never really set foot in there. But yeah, that's the major thing that he definitely has accomplished, is that you could tell he is someone who really does care about animals and really is someone who cares more, like, considering that he is an Imagineer, he does a really good job at telling stories at the same time. Like, even if they're not based on, like, real... if they're not based on real worlds, whether it be like Hawaii or Africa or Tibet, like he would often make sure to like really add in the magic, like especially to really bring Pandora to life, to really take like what you have seen in Avatar and really enhance that to make it a believable world that can actually fit in a place like Animal Kingdom, or even in Expedition Everest, going back to that again, where like you really do feel like the mountain is inhabited by a Yeti. Which, by the way, it also brings up another conversation. Tyler, I like, maybe you are aware of this, about the whole discussion about the Yeti, because that's one thing a lot of people seem to be very concerned about when it comes to Joe Rohde's retirement. They are worried if it means that the Yeti in Expedition Everest might never be fixed. Like, are you aware of like the whole Yeti thing?
Yeah, I remember it was like a couple years back when they updated the ride, the Yeti broke and they just never fixed them.
A few years ago. I think it's like early, like when the ride started, actually.
That long ago? Oh no, I thought it was like a renovation like 5 years back. Oh wow, has it been like 20 years? Oh no.
Well, yeah, well, I think it's like since the late 2000s, so it's been
Oh
like
my
on
god.
yeah, it's been.
So you're
that
telling
bad.
me? Okay, it's funny. It's a personal story about that. I think it was the DVD for the Lion King 1.5 had a demo for what the ride was supposed to look like, and the Yeti worked in that demo, but I think apparently, from what you're telling me, it has not worked since.
Nah, it's been a long time.
Oh
In fact,
no.
it's been a meme, honestly. That's the whole thing. Like it's almost a running gag where people keep on demanding Joe Rohde to go and fix the Yeti. And like that's probably one thing that I think that Joe Rohde is finally relieved about, like, now that he's retiring, is that people will stop asking him about like fixing the Yeti and stuff like that. And
That's a naive assumption. He's gonna go home. He's gonna lock the door. He's gonna look out the window. There's gonna be like 20 people on his property going, "Fix the Yeti,
Yeah.
fix the Yeti." It's like, guys, I retired.
yeah,
Don't care.
I think people have already done that so many times, and not to mention as well that people are already making a joke with the Yeti right now, where they already like in order to give the illusion that the Yeti seems like it's moving, because like right now the Yeti is just static. That right now they're just doing flashing lights when when the ride encounters the Yeti.
I remember that. I remember the videos of that where it's just like a dance party in there.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what the Yeti is now called, right? You know what fans call him?
Disco Yeti.
Disco Yeti. Exactly. That's why they made a meme out of freaking Disco Yeti. So that's a major thing, and I'm just gonna say right now, like, this is not related to Joe Rohde, but I'm just gonna say I don't think the Yeti is gonna be fixed for a long time, and that's mainly because of the current status of the Disney parks, and that like Disney just doesn't have the money, like, period. I mean, like, they're already trying to build so many.
They have the money, but they don't have the money.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. It's that they don't have the money that they're willing to
Think
spend.
about it this way: the Hatbox Ghost got put back in the mansion before this.
Well, yeah, but that was like long before. That's like way before, honestly. But like, to Disney's defense, like, I do understand, because like the Yeti literally weighs freaking tons, and like in order to fix him, it's not just like a minor tweak that's like on his head or anything like that. Like, you need to fully shut down the entire ride and make sure that like the whole building is stable, because like if you're not careful, the Yeti is gonna collapse and the ride is gonna go down with it. So that's kind of like, yeah.
Well, it's a pity that they've never shut down Disney World in the last 20 years. Oh wait, they did a few months ago.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I think the more like we would get into it, the more that it feels like the more it feels like, yeah, they could have, but like they just choose not to. That is true, unfortunately. But we don't, but yeah, I feel like honestly Disney is like, especially with how the Disney parks have been losing billions, literally billions, because of the pandemic. I don't think that they're going to be in a mood to fix the Yeti anytime soon. Like, we're not going to see, like, that thing ain't going to be touched until like the mid 2020s, like at the earliest. Like, I think in the next 2 or 3 D23 expos, that's when they're going to announce that they're going to fix the Yeti.
I didn't bring up that Hatbox Ghost for without a cause. I'm like, is it gonna be that long? We're gonna wait that much time?
Oh god, yeah. No, it's gonna be like, wait until Animal Kingdom's 50th anniversary, and then they're gonna fix up the Yeti. Oh god. Don't worry, we're gonna have
the first anniversary ride. On the anniversary ride, the last kid to actually see the Yeti move correctly, it's an old man going, "When my day, the Yeti was alive."
Oh my, no, it's gonna be like a Titanic thing. It's like they're gonna have an interview with a woman. It's just gonna be like, "It's been 84 years and I saw the Yeti was moving. It almost felt like he was grabbing me."
the Expedition Everest Memorial Pride, where it's like, here's all the names of people who had the ride outlived before they fixed the Yeti.
Oh my god. Or that could be the major plot twist, actually, is that instead like that could be the thing they're gonna do. Instead of the Yeti, they're just gonna replace him with a Hatbox Ghost. It's just like you think it's gonna be the Yeti, but then suddenly at the end of the ride, it's just like, yeah, didn't see that coming, did ya? Oh man.
Where it's like, oh god, there's the ghost, there's the headless ghost, there's the wife ghost. What is that? Dancing Yeti.
Disco Yeti.
Disco Yeti. Next to old Constance.
Oh god, no thank you, man. No thank you. Oh boy. But yeah, going back into Joe Rohde though, yeah, but I will say though, as a Disney Parks fan, I am definitely gonna miss him. And I will say he has definitely set a brand new standard to the Disney Parks that's gonna be pretty, like, he set a master standard where it's gonna be pretty hard to reach in terms of authenticity and attention to detail to make it seem as to make the environments that the Imagineers have to create to really feel as immersive and really feel as real as possible, rather it be like creating a fantasy world like in Pandora, or making a real environment that exists in the world like in Animal Kingdom. I think that's going to be something that I will miss. I definitely trust the Imagineers nowadays. They will carry on that legacy, and they will, and with their future projects, they will do Joe Rohde proud. But yeah, I think honestly, it's going to be sad to see him go. But, honestly, I do wish Joe Rohde the best of luck with his future projects. And hopefully things will go well with both Rohde and Disney Imagineering.
Absolutely. I think the man, I know I'm a big fan of Avatar, but he did a really good job with Pandora. And he earned it. He's done this for like 40 years. He probably deserves to become a Disney legend in the next D23, actually.
Oh, probably. Yeah, if he hasn't been named a Disney legend, if he hasn't been a Disney legend, no, if he hasn't, no, he will soon. He absolutely. I think by the next D23 Expo, he will be named. And one thing I will say, I think, like, considering we are talking about Joe Rohde, there is one discussion we have to bring up that it's unavoidable. If there is one thing we will all miss about Joe Rohde, it's his freaking keys. It's his freaking keys with his earlobe. Like, look at this beautiful freaking... Look at the keychain on his freaking ear, man. That's gonna be one thing we're gonna miss. The giant set of car keys that he has in his ear alone. Like, honestly, as much as he's giving himself a break, I don't think he's gonna be giving his ear a break anytime soon.
Yeah, I've always been fascinated by his ear fashion choices, let's just say. I was a little bit disappointed he wasn't a mini boss in Kingdom Hearts 3. That's right style.
Yeah, it's just like he'll have a special appearance in Kingdom Hearts where it's just like he'll carry his Keyblade everywhere. It's just gonna be hanging on his freaking ear.
No, like Goofy going, Sora, look out, it's one of the creator bosses. It's just him walking around with freaking sword ears.
Oh my god, true. It's like he's not gonna be holding him. Like, no, it's like he's gonna be like General Grievous in Star Wars, except he's gonna have two Keyblades, and he's gonna have two Keyblades on his ears, and he's just gonna be like his slash attack is just gonna be like him swishing his head.
It's like, General Sora, I've been waiting for this moment.
Well, hello there, Tony Baxter. Oh man, but yeah, this is gonna be one thing that a lot of people are definitely gonna miss. But I don't know, maybe one day he'll give his earlobes a freaking break. But oh man, but yeah, I'm definitely.
One
gonna
last
miss
thing before
Joe
we go on this,
Yeah.
With Joe Rohde. If anyone has any hearing problems, no, we're not talking about Joe Rogan. We're not talking about him.
No. Yeah, keep in mind, we're talking about the Disney Imagineer. We're not going to be talking about the millionaire podcaster guy. Okay, so...
But Joe Rohde on the Joe Rogan podcast would be kind of funny.
Yeah, that is true. That would be interesting. Although it won't be as weird as like the time Joe Rogan interviewed Kanye West. It's not going to be that level of insane.
It's true.
All right, so with that said, I'd like to go into the chat wall, and I would like to ask, do you have any words you would like to say regarding Joe Rohde's retirement? Is there a fond memory that you have with one of Joe Rohde's creations? Oh my god, because of you, I'm always so close to saying Joe Rogan, but no, do you have anything to comment about this? Let me know what you think. Okay, so let's see what we got here.
Cooper Dude is right though that they should make Chadwick Boseman a Disney legend in the next D23. Yeah, they totally should.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, that's gonna be I think that's gonna be a guaranteed thing. He will definitely be a Disney legend.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean that is probably gonna be I think now that we've went through Endgame, I think it is gonna be time they will start to really make a lot of Disney legends out of the people who made the MCU, or a lot of the actors. I think they already got Robert Downey Jr. a Disney legend, so that's gonna be that's gonna be another major thing.
Who should they actually do for that next one? Because they do 10 per year. Joe Rohde, yes, obviously. Chadwick Boseman, yeah. I don't know who else they would do.
We'll see. It's always a surprise. So, let's see.
Yeah, it's always a good surprise.
While I consider Animal Kingdom one of the weaker parks in Walt Disney World, despite offering the best ride, Joe Rohde's accomplishments at the park were undeniably fantastic, so I wish him well on his ventures beyond the parks. I don't have much else to say, except if they do decide to fix the Yeti, just go all out and make it Channing Tatum. Oh god! I get what he means, though. Oh no.
I got that too.
I don't know. Could the Imagineers create an animatronic whose eyes are so close together? Could that be possible?
Yeah, I'm sure they could do it. I'm sure some of the Monsters Inc. characters have eyes close enough that you could do it.
I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. I've never been a big Epcot fan, so I can't really comment on that, but I will say Flight of Passage is one of my favorite rides at Animal Kingdom, even if there's not a whole lot to do in Pandora. That ride alone is worth the price of admission, and Animal Kingdom is one of my favorite parks next to Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom. He will be missed, and I wish him the best of luck on his retirement. Let's see now.
Okay, Dragon Warrior's got a good point. Smallfoot. Why was Disco Yeti not in Smallfoot?
Disco. Yeah, that is true, man. Well, I mean, it's a Warner Brothers thing, so if it were a Disney, if Smallfoot were a Disney movie, they would have definitely made a Disco Yeti reference. Let's see now. Jesus, Animat, don't swing my emotions like that. The way you spoke about Joe at the beginning made it sound like someone died. I may have never visited any of the Disney parks, but the way you spoke about Joe does make him seem like a great person, and yeah, that's something. That is some impressive earrings. Though I worry about his earlobe. I mean, he's been going at it for many years, so I think his earlobes are fine. They're just used to it now. They've stretched enough. Let's see.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm definitely disappointed that Joe Rohde is retiring, but he did do some great things. This is the same man who did an amazing job bringing Pandora to life and making it look beautiful, regardless of how you feel about the movie. So overall, thank you, Joe Rohde, and I wish you the best luck in the future. Let's see now. What else do we got? My parents went to Disneyland for a honeymoon trip in the United States almost 30 years ago, not knowing the magic that Joe Rohde spread all over the park. I'm glad I got my spare time to watch a lot of videos from theme park content creators like Defunctland and the aforementioned TPM vids. Hopefully that Disco Yeti will be fixed in the future so that we will experience Expedition Everest as originally envisioned by the Imagineers and at the Disney parks. All right, that's nice.
To be fair, if they do fix it, then what is some jerk with the camera going to complain about then?
Oh, don't worry. I think he'll find a lot of material. I don't underestimate Tony. He will find something. I'll read one more comment before we go. Let's see. I wish Joe Rohde the best of luck on his retirement and taking his ear keys with him. Who's going to replace him now? And also, who's going to fix the Disco Yeti now? I mean, you never know, man. I loved him for his wonderful projects that he did for Disney parks, such as Expedition Everest and the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. Oh, that is true. I believe he is.
He did that.
I believe he is also responsible for Mission Breakout. I think so. That could be.
You mean the most controversial ride in the last like 3 years, back when they got rid of Tower of Terror?
Yep, that's the one. I remember. Yeah, I remember when they announced it. Like when they did that announcement video at Comic-Con, they actually did reveal about like I think like when they did that announcement video, it was Joe Rohde making that announcement.
You're right. I don't want to know what his email looked like the next day.
Yeah, exactly, man. You don't want to know.
Oh, he definitely earned the retirement not to hear about it.
Oh, yeah. But with all that said, it is now time that we are going to jump onto the grand finale. Like I said before, there isn't a whole lot of stories, but there are a lot of fascinating ones. And this time around, we actually got something that is very interesting, though. What we have here is actually a unique project, and there is actually a reason why Tyler here is actually in this episode in particular, because there is something that you would like to go and promote. It is a project that, when we would chat, it's something that you have often brought up, and it seems close to completion, actually. And you guys might not know this, but this is a project that there is a reason why he is dressed up like this also, is that he's going to be working on a project, and he'll go more into it. And no, it's not Clifford the Big Red Dog. It's actually a project related to the the legendary pirate Anne Bonny. So, Tyler, could you explain a little bit more about what you are working on?
Oh, yeah. So I work for a YouTube channel called Debunk File. It's like a small growing YouTube channel, about 17,000 subscribers. And over the summer, we were just brainstorming some ideas. Let's want to do this story. We did that. I do history mysteries. The rest of the group does like internet-based mysteries. And the voice narrator suggested, because he just watched all the 5 pirate films, why don't we do something about pirates? So I pulled out a list and just went, okay, there's Captain Kidd's Treasure, there's Olivier Levasseux's like Cryptogram, there's Oak Island, that famous thing. And then I thought, there's Anne Bonny, though, the famous female pirate, the one that, if you've actually been on the Disney ride, they reference multiple times. In fact, she's actually the stand-in for the Red character now. She's very famous and vanished from all historical records 300 years ago today, November 28th, 1720. So that's where the idea went. I thought, it'll be a fun little story. A little story about a famous woman that stood up and did something unique and then disappeared. None of this was simple. No. About almost the moment I started research, things got complicated. I found an article from a journalist from the South Carolina Post and Courier who kind of politely said, everything you're going to read's probably a lie. So I did some firsthand research, went through documents, met several historians, and even contacted said journalist, and oh boy, I found some documents that I've never seen before that nobody else has ever seen, and I might have actually solved the mystery 300 years later, as of today.
So, like, the mystery of who Anne Bonny is. So with that,
who she is and what happened to her.
Yeah, so considering that you have made that discovery about Anne Bonny, what would you say are some of the most common misconceptions about Anne Bonny? Because right now, like in our culture, when people would bring up Anne Bonny, they often refer to her as like a very adventurous female pirate. Like she is the most well-known female pirate out there, like swashbuckling and like one of the most renowned ones, like up there with Blackbeard and stuff like that. What would you say are like some of the misconceptions?
Okay, and first off, if you actually look up the Post and Courier, the newspaper article, there was a newspaper article with me about it today. If you actually want to pull that up, actually.
Oh.
Answer your question, yeah. There's a lot of misconceptions that, for example, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies directly, the 2 major female characters, Elizabeth Swann and Angelica, they're very clearly based on Anne Bonny, that sort of adventurous female that also dressed up as a man at one point. It's not really true. Nearest as I can find, this is all speculation, but it's all I can do, is that I think she was a child that was born in poverty in 1690s era London in a terrible place called St. Giles District. That's a place that was even made fun of a few times in, I believe, Charles Dickens' novels 200 years later. She ran away from home, She probably became a prostitute and moved to the city of Nassau on the island of New Providence, famous for all the pirates like Blackbeard. And then in 1720, when the governor of the Bahamas started rooting out prostitution, she just jumped on a ship and became a pirate along with John Rackham, the famous pirate also. And never really was much of an aggressive, oh, I'm going to do this because I'm a woman. No, looks like she was probably forced into it by circumstance and never had much of a choice.
So pretty much, like, from your research, you're saying that she started, like, she moved to the New Providence where she became a prostitute, and to hide from the law because, like, they outlawed prostitution, that's when she pretty much became a pirate.
Well, it's more the governor started cracking down on this because he was a hardcore Protestant, and I believe half the colony was basically just pirates and prostitutes. Nassau was a very colorful place, let's just call it that. Yeah,
sounds like my kind of town.
Yeah, pretty much. It was kind of like Port Royal back in the day, and that place was called the Sodom of the New World.
Yeah. So
learned.
Yeah, true. So from there, like, I'm sure, like, you did mention, like, with Pirates of the Caribbean that there have been a lot of references to Anne Bonny. But also I believe that there was a movie back in the 50s or 40s or something like that, that 20th Century Studios actually made a movie based on Anne Bonny. Like, how would you say, is that like a highly inaccurate fantasy movie, or would you say there are some truth to what they have presented in that film?
They were referring to the film Anne of the Indies from 1951, starring Jean Peters, wife of
yes.
Howard Hughes. That movie was greenlit after the success of Disney's Treasure Island, which featured Robert Newton, who is the guy who coined the "R" phrase that we all know and love or hate. You know, that guy created almost every pirate cliche you can think of, and this movie was a byproduct of that. And it was loosely based on a 1947 historical article. Loosely. It's not accurate to life at all. They call her Anne Providence. They make her a pirate captain, and all this bit about she's not a real woman. It's very dated feminist policies of the 50s, but they did get the outfit right. A pure accident, because the only documentation of how she was described was from a witness at her trial, and that woman said, yeah, she had a headscarf, lightly fitted shirt and jacket, pants, and no shoes, and like 2 pistols and a sword. That's it. And that's what they gave the main lead actress. It's about all they got right. I'm pretty sure that was an accident.
So wait, she was never a captain to begin with?
Nope, she was just a crew member on John Rackham's ship along with her friend Mary Read, the other famous female pirate. Not a captain. Everyone calls her a pirate queen. Nah, the real pirate queen was either Grace O'Malley, the Irish pirate queen, or Ching Shi, the Chinese pirate queen. Anne Bonny was not.
So that's actually very interesting, because if that is the case, how was it that Anne Bonny really rose to fame? How was it that, like, despite many of the inaccuracies that people have on her, that people think they know about Anne Bonny, how is it that she became so popular over the years? Why did people recognize her as the definitive pirate, you know, the definitive female pirate?
Short answer, long answer, it's honestly her gender. In 1724, when the famous book General History of the Pirates was released by someone who used an assumed name, her name is the biggest name on the front cover. It's bigger than Blackbeard. It's bigger than Bartholomew Roberts. Bigger than anybody you actually would know. And her chapter is honestly just like 2/3 talking about silver spoons, and then like 1 page about her as a pirate. It's pathetic, but they clearly were capitalizing on, oh, a woman as a pirate, ooh. And then that caught on into London plays and stories, and then 100 years later, stories kept getting more and more ridiculous. And then by the 30s, well, we got movies now, because female pirates they're a thing, but they're quite rare, and there's not much documentation on them, and these are the most recent ones from the era, so they kind of became a default, female pirates, based her on that Irish lady. The document also claimed that she was Irish, probably wasn't. So if anyone played Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag like I did, no, she probably was not some redheaded girl singing Celtic songs. She was probably English with dark hair. Sorry to break it to you. I'm half Irish, so I'm not exactly pleased with that revelation.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, we're two dudes. We, like, it's in our instinct that we want the redhead, but unfortunately that's not really the case that we would get with Anne Bonny.
Yeah, pretty much.
But, interestingly enough, now this might be a little bit of a challenge. Now, I know there have been a lot of depictions of Anne Bonny in pop culture because of this. What would you say is the most accurate portrayal of Anne Bonny in pop culture?
Not one depiction, but there's mixtures here and there that somewhat ring true to me. Like, okay, Assassin's Creed 4 made her like a 18-year-old like redheaded Irish girl, but the character does have a bit of guile and spunk, and at one point does kind of go on about the tragedy of losing everyone but still continuing to live on. That rings slightly true to me to her in later years because, okay, I need to back up a little bit here, but 1721, this date, 300 years ago, on trial after getting captured in a pathetically short battle that some people try to exaggerate as some epic. They're like, oh, she fought back against the British. No, they got blindsided by a British pirate hunter and just lost in like about a minute, but yeah, well, whatever. And the crew was hanged because they were pirates. Her and Mary Read put on trial. They were doomed, but then they claimed they were pregnant, which means you can't be hanged under British law. And that's the last you ever hear of any of them. There's rumors that Mary Read died in prison. That was never really something I can fully confirm until now. But Anne Bonny, nothing. No, there was tons of legends of, oh, her father came to save her, or she broke out of prison. None of that happened. That's drawing from a 60s romance novel. Somehow that became a historical cornerstone. Don't ask why. I don't know. But yeah, I found a document in my research that seems to point towards her dying in 1733 in Jamaica, as if she just kind of gave up on piracy and probably went back to being a prostitute and living out the rest of her life. And 1730 was when the golden age of piracy ended. So long about lost times is something that Assassin's Creed probably got right by accident. The TV show Black Sails, that's a really popular show. That has her as a bit of a violent psychopath. She, on record, never killed anybody. But there is a toughness to her that I also think is slightly true, because if you're going to live as a prostitute and the Sodom of the New World for 4 years, you have to have some backbone. And in the Gene Peters one, the outfit's right. It's like bits and pieces here and there. Like there was like a 2006 like History Channel documentary which did make her as like a adventurous and fiery 20-some-year-old. And that's, yes, somewhat true. Is no perfect depiction. It's just people drawing from history that's drawing from another historian who drew from a historian who drew from a guy who made a romance novel who based it on a book that's basically the 300-year-old equivalent of saying I wrote on a Daily Mail article. That's the funny thing about general history of the pirates. It was based entirely on almost nothing. There's no sources, no citations. Everything you read, it can't be verified. And it came from Grub Street in London, which is equivalency of saying it came from, like I said, the Daily Sun or the Daily Mail. And facts that can be proven constantly contradicted. So people call it the Pirate Bible. I think they mean that in both it's influential, but also shouldn't be taken at face value. That sort of thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So it's basically like there's none that's like purely accurate, but there are some that like might sound true.
There's some that get a fraction of the truth, and maybe by accident, maybe on purpose. Most writers they just take from previous writers who take from previous writers who take from previous writers who took from something really unsubstantiated. It's like a game of telephone, really. If you look at the old newspapers from 300 years ago, it's not much of note. And then it comes clearly from a writer who made up a lot of stuff, which then comes from a historian who quoted that. It's insane. Pirate history is actually very, very patchy. There's a lot of details like Blackbeard and his setting his beard on fire. That probably didn't actually happen. Shot 20 times. That probably didn't happen. It's hard to confirm, though.
Okay. And by the way, I would like to ask you specifically, in your opinion, how, like, after doing all that research regarding Anne Bonny, how do you personally, like, how is your perspective of Anne Bonny and how people portray Anne Bonny specifically? How do you feel about how people see Anne Bonny right now? What do you, like, compared to, like, what you actually know of who Anne Bonny is?
Yeah, every decade or so, or even a century at that point, has a bit of a different interpretation, and none of them are exactly spot on. In the 1800s, when you had stuff like Fanny Campbell, the female pirate play come out, which was probably inspired by Anne Bonny to agree, it was more of a farcical, look at that, a woman as a pirate, can you believe it? And then in the 20s and 30s became like well, it's a story of romance, so of course there'll be a woman, but she'll be second to the man. And in the 50s it became a weird like expectation where it's like, yeah, women as pirates, yeah, they're gonna kill you, yeah, sort of that thing. And then more recently it's taken on a more LGBTQ angle because she was friends with Mary Read, the other female pirate, and there's a story in general history about them meeting but not knowing one of them was a man and one trying to kiss each other. But it's played more like a farcical play than anything romantic. But historians nowadays are kind of painting it as a sign of repressed like lesbianism, which you're taking this from an unreliable book that was not based in court documents. I really don't want to, I'm not a bigot or anything, but I don't think she actually was a member of the LGBT community or whatever you would want to call that from 300 years ago. That's something Black Sails also dabbled into, which made her bisexual. It's a recent trend. In fact, last week they put up 2 statues of her in London, of her and Mary Read, and it's all about them being great lovers forgotten by history. But I think to break it to you, but that's just not what it was. They did far less than you think they did. They probably weren't feminist heroes either. That was in the 90s. The 90s became more of the working man hero or the feminist hero. Neither of these angles, again, are very accurate. She tried to kill a woman at one point. Yeah, real heroine of the people there, and well, almost all the things done to her were kind of not of her own accord, so I'm not sure how that's very feminist.
Yeah, like, yeah, I get how you're seeing it. It does seem like more of a marketing appeal, and especially in these current times, when LGBT rights are becoming more of a major issue, and that people are being more serious and fighting to like get more equal rights to everyone. It is understandable how we could see that there are people that are leaning less into like what is actually the truth and more just trying to capitalize on like, we got lesbian pirates, yo, and just really capitalizing on that so that the LGBT community can go, yeah, and then all the horny guys are going, yeah. So it's mostly just for that.
Yeah, it's a lot of that, and I understand like representation matters and all that stuff. And yeah, there are historical figures that were probably LGBTQ, but weren't exactly written like that when history was, written down. Mm-hmm. My favorite example is Alexander the Great. He pledged all his love and money to a soldier that was with him, and historians were like, "We're just friends." I'm sure they were just friends. Yeah. Nowadays they're like, "No, read this. Tell me, does that sound like a friend to you?"
Dude, oh my god, honestly, if you read Greek history, honestly, like, if you look into Roman history or Greek history, it's like, I feel like it's one of those cases where it almost seems like straight people are the minority in there. Like, there's a lot of there's a lot of free gayness going on.
Yeah, the era was maybe a little less judgmental towards that attitude. Yeah, but that's an example of like 18th Victorians, Victorian era historians rewriting history and going, I don't know what you're talking about. They're just friends. And that's the example of how the great grand narrative history has been rewritten, because there's like 3 periods of history. There's like grand narrative, great man history. You'll usually get that in college or high school. And then there's, revisionist history, which that kind of comes with a terrible like subtone of saying you're like denying things now, but revisionist history is usually a more liberalized looking back at history and possibly correcting errors. And with this one,
it's almost fantasizing.
Is correcting an error. Yeah, with Alexander the Great, yeah, that's revising history to be more accurate. And there's post-revisionism, which is just looking at things from a very unskeptical, nuanced perspective, and that's how I look at it with Anne Bonny here. I personally look at her as both, well, as the British called her, an enemy of all nations, person who got got rich by stealing from others. And I know that her victims, they were people that were just on merchant ships or innocent rich women, something like that. They didn't deserve to get robbed or almost murdered. Not that they were, but on the other hand, England kind of was the greatest pirate of all. They're like, you see India? That's ours now. Jamaica? That's ours now. Get out of the way, Spain. So you could argue a female pirate standing up to all that, not by intention, but you could say she was more independent than your average woman of the era. But, it's a complicated way of looking at it. It's beyond good and evil, as Nietzsche would say.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, I do feel that it is a situation where it feels like it's a scenario of facts over feelings, that people prefer, like, yeah, people would love to imagine the image of, like, a ruthless, notorious pirate, but, like, a woman can also be like that as well. As much as that image can be nice, is it accurate to reality? No. Like, that could be the harsh truth. And especially if you are bringing in the factor of, like, the LGBT elements, that, like, yeah, you want to see more gay representation, but then like, you have to also accept the truth that it's not literally everywhere, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, although the Navy gets a lot of jokes about that. Like, what's the old joke people say about the U.S. Navy? 100 men go out, 50 couples come back. Get it?
Oh,
but it's not.
Yep.
Yeah,
I got you, man.
I get it, but the problem with pirate history in general is a lot of gaps, because guess what? Illiterate sailors robbing others didn't write down their own story. The best you would usually get is if they got arrested and put on trial, and that's just one perspective. And some pirates didn't even get that. Blackbeard was killed in battle. Bartholomew Roberts killed in battle. The best you can get is from, like, the crew members, and they don't know everything that he knew. There's a lot of gaps. We don't know a whole lot. Back, funny enough, if you want to pull out a Wikipedia page and look at every pirate, almost everyone will start off with, "We don't know when they were born. We don't know where they came from. We just know when they became a pirate." That's basically everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I get how you feel. And in terms of your Anne Bonny project, I would like to ask, like, one more big question. When is this going to be coming out? Like, when is all the research going to ultimately pay off and, like, fully take form into this big thing?
Yeah. The honest truth is, 4 hours. It premieres today at 8 p.m. on my YouTube channel. The newspaper article written about it's already out, but that will get updated with the video. It's 71 minutes.
Already? Oh, crap.
It's 15,000 words.
Oh, I didn't expect it would be today. Oh, okay. Now it all makes sense. Okay, now I know why you are here. Okay. All right, that's perfect.
Yeah. And I think, spoil the ending, like I said, I found a document in the Jamaican, was it parish registry? Because, okay, side note, parish means government, like, system and church in Jamaica. That gets confusing really fast. But I found a document for a woman named Anne Bonny, who died December the 29th of 1733, 12 years after her last mention in any real newspaper headline. And I can't confirm that's the same Anne Bonny. There are other Anne Bonnies buried. That name's not exactly an uncommon name, but it's spelled the right way, because here's the fun catch for you. Every spelling of her name is A-N-N-E. Every document that's from her era is spelled A-N-N, because Anne was usually spelled that way if you're royalty, like Queen Anne of England or Anne Boleyn.
Right.
If you're a poor commoner, it's A-N-N. This woman spelled the right way, right area, St. Catherine's district, which is the same place where she was held as a prisoner. Same era. 12 years is a reasonable amount of time, because Jamaica is famously a terrible place to live in the 1700s. I found an article from a satirist named Ned Ward, who famously called Jamaica the dunghill of the universe. He didn't say that idly. There was disease rampant everywhere. It was not uncommon for you to have 5 kids named George, because 4 of them will die of malaria.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, and they had, like, local governors who were basically far away enough from England that you couldn't really tell them what to do. There was families like the Beckfords, which owned entire plantations and were so rich you could basically pay somebody just to go away if you accuse them of a crime. It's a terrible place to live in 1720. So surviving 12 years is kind of impressive, but not unreasonable. Saying you lived to like 1790, didn't know. That's not happening.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right, so I want to go into the chat wall, and I would like to ask you all, how do you feel about our little discussion that we have here regarding Anne Bonny? Is there anything you guys would like to add regarding the discussion piece? Is there any new things that you that you guys have learned? I would like to know, what have you all thought of this? If you have any comments, if there are any comments.
I'll gladly answer any question. Believe me. This
and if you have any,
from May 30th to November 28th.
Also, that is actually a great thing to mention. If you guys have any additional questions you would like to ask regarding Anne Bonny and you would like Tyler to answer, let me know. Like, if you got any answers, don't hesitate. We would all love to hear it. Apparently, someone is saying that now we officially know where the phrase "bonne lass" comes from. Is that true?
I can explain that. And this is something that actually was a major research point for me, which was she Irish? This bothered me more than I probably should because every court document just never made a distinction of her. And I knew the majority of pirates were English, not Irish. So I kind of looked in that name. And okay, I mentioned the first name. That's not a very common first name, given name, Anne, because of the British connection. But the surname is interesting because it's a French name. Bonny is a French name that's derived from the French word bon, which means good. It is popular in England and Scotland as a result of the 1066 Norman invasion from William the Conqueror. When French and England was basically mixed as one for a little bit. It's mostly popular in Lancashire County, where Liverpool is, but it's spread everywhere. I mean, example, in the Jacobite Rebellion in the 1720s, the leader that wanted to become king was the Bonnie Prince Charles. That's what they called him. He was Scottish. Ireland, you don't find the name Bonnie that much in there. I went through all those records. I could barely find anyone with the name Bonnie, let alone Anne. But yeah, it's a French-English surname that you can still find. And yes, Bonnie eventually became Bonnie. That's the more modern-day spelling of it.
Mm-hmm. I gotcha. Anyone else anyone else has a question? No? It seems pretty... I don't really have...
There's a couple.
Oh, there is? Okay. Let's see. I don't really have much to say since I'm not really a big fan of pirates, but hearing about the true story of Anne Bonny does sound interesting, so I'll watch your video when I can, and in case anyone wants to know, his channel is called Debunked File. Yeah, you should probably go and put a link in the chat wall for people who are interested, so just in case, just do that.
And let me do that, actually.
Let's see. Do we have any other questions already, or let's see. Was there? I don't think I see any other. What?
Well, I'm sure there will be. Okay. Guys, Joe's Sonic Boom said he wanted to do an Anne Bonny crossover with Blackbeard.
Well, okay.
Well, it's funny you mention that because that's something that Anne of the Indies did, which makes like Anne Bonny like fight Blackbeard at the end. This is a weird thing I've noticed in a lot of history movies, which is just mixing Anne Bonny into whatever you wrote about. Like, Abbott and Costello, right?
Yeah.
There's Abbott and Costello meet Captain Kidd. For some reason, Anne Bonny's his girlfriend, despite the fact he's from 1696 and she's from 1720.
Well, it's like you said, she is the staple female pirate. So that's why she would, like, mix... That's why you would see her mix with, like, a bunch of other pirates, even if she wouldn't necessarily be in that time frame.
Yep, I think there's, like, Against All Flags from 52 that had her with Henry Every, a 1695 pirate. I'm sure if I look hard enough, I could find a movie with her and Henry Morgan from the 1660s. Like... Actually, honestly, even Pirates of the Caribbean, the time period doesn't make any sense because Ching Shi actually shows up in the third movie. She's the female pirate lord.
Yeah,
Chinese-looking one.
That is true. That is true.
She's from 1820. Blackbeard's alive in the fourth movie, and he died in 1718. What year is this supposed to be?
What year is it? What year is it?
If you're a historian, you're looking at this going like, I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah. You just watch a historian looking at all the Pirates movie, and he's just there like, I fear
Yeah.
All
Historians, yeah, they get a lot of fun out of this. Like, I talked with a guy named David Finkham, who's a historian, and he's like, yeah, movies and television shows, just turn off your brain. It's better for you. Don't think about it.
Exactly. And I think with that said, that should go and conclude this episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast. Tyler, thank you so much.
There was one last thing.
Sorry, go on.
I mentioned one more thing, which is there is another YouTuber I'm actually doing a collaboration on about Anne of the Indies, and that is YouTuber Cynical History. He's doing a crossover talking about that movie in a couple months, and I'm in it too.
Oh, okay. That's nice. All right, cool. So, anyways, Tyler, thank you so much for being a part of this. It is actually a lot of fun. And once more, can you tell people where they can find you around the internet?
Oh, yeah, no problem. You can find me on Twitter. My name is, Tyler Bayard Rodriguez. It's the one with the BioShock Infinite picture. Hard to miss, I know. I'm a part of a podcast now called the Renegade Pop Culture Group. It actually has one of the writers of Hadestown, the musical, involved, and we sometimes interview people like the director of the original Mulan. It happened.
Nice. Tony
yep,
Bancroft, I believe. Is that the one?
Yes, that's the correct one. Tony Bancroft, not one of the directors, excuse me. YouTube channel Debunk File, which I'm always in their Discord, just always kind of having fun. Cynical History, I'm in their Discord all the time, just having fun, because that's a guy. He's a fun historian. Also, he's the son of the guy from Pawn Stars, by the way.
Yes, I remember you mentioned that to me. That was like a fun surprise, actually.
Yeah, that gets very interesting. And finally, you can just I'm always on any Facebook group of those types. So yeah, I'm still there. And also, I still sometimes do that Peanut Butter podcast with Pokematic. That occasionally still happens too.
Yeah, I missed it, dude. How has he been, man?
He got married in last month. He's been doing pretty well.
Oh, that's nice. That's definitely nice. So with all that said, I would like to say thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening, and tune in next week for more fun and crazy stories that we will cover here in this podcast. So with all that said and done, I would like to say thank you all so much for watching, thank you all so much for listening, and until next time, see you later, dudes!
Well, enjoy. Be with you all.